I'm going to demonstrate some new features for pick and place, and to do that I'm going to show you how to make, I'm going to show a tutorial of how to make tic-tac-toe. And there's some, so I'm going to demonstrate how this works. I've drawn a tic-tac-toe board and I'm using some M&Ms for the markers.
Who goes first, brown or green?
Green.
Okay, green. Speak your move.
A1.
Moving to position A1. It is now brown's turn. Speak your move.
B2.
Moving to position B2. It is now green's turn. Speak your move.
A3.
Moving to position A3.
Gotta go for the blocker move next.
It is now
I'm going to
brown's
show
turn.
you the new pick and
Speak
place
your move.
features. So I'll begin by just recording the movements to pick something up and place it. So the pick and place is just like the automatic position where you don't have to push a button to record the placement. You just wait a moment and it will beep, and it means that it's recorded that position. And go through the motions of picking up an object. And placing it in another location. Okay, so normally we'd have like 5 recordings for that motion to pick something up and 5 recordings for the motion to put it down, but instead it's analyzed what I've done and turned them into pick and place locations here. So there's a couple things to note. So one is, so you'll see like uh, there's this coming down, and then there's this little icon to pick up an item and pick one. And then there's this other one that comes back, and then it comes back down. And there's this icon of the arrow going down where it's placing it. Okay, so that encapsulates all those little movements inside there, and then you can just change them pretty easily. So there's also one other thing. You'll see a little. Let's see if I move this. See that little location up top, the little whatever it's called. I can't think right now what that is. That represents safety. So you can see on here they put in a safety position or a safe position once you pick something up. So the arm goes back into where it can reposition. It's the same spot for everything else. Go and place something else. So you can bring things into your safety location and then back down. It's always the same spot. So safety, you see there's a safety on all of these, and they're all going to the exact same position. In fact, when it's blue like this, instead of green, that it's just a recording of position, when it's blue, it means it's a safety. And that position is always the same for the entire recording. All safeties are the same location. The only difference, so if like I were to change this safety location, let's just do that. And I were to, you know, make the safety like up here, something like that, position. You can see that all the safeties update now. So all the safeties, everything goes back to this position up here, and then back down to do a pick and down to do a place. So that makes a recording like this that has a bunch of pick and places a lot easier to manage where your safety location is. Okay. And then on each pick, you can see in place, you can see that there's two key points, two positions on these. There's a beginning one right here. Okay, so that's as it comes down to grab the item, and then there's the ending one where it's actually grabbed it. So it's picked up like how much your gripper is closed and that and things like that. So you can change these independently. So I could say, you know what, I want to grab this. Um, I want it to grab this one a little higher up. So I could then move this up and say, I want it to start about here, and I'll update that. And now it'll recalculate all the movements that it needs to do to go down and grab that item. So we can just play that through and you'll see what I mean. So now it starts up higher, comes down, it grabs it, it brings it back up. Okay, so probably the same with this one. We'll probably just re-record it a little bit higher here. Maybe we up there like that. Okay, so you can see it's recalculated it to the arrow to be a little higher up. You can see it's a lot higher up. So that arrow is nice and long. That's the beginning of the place movement, and that's the end of it. So, and it'll always come into the same motion. So whatever your angle is, if it's at the side or down below or whatever, and then it'll enter in that motion, and then it'll extract it in that exact same motion, and then leave. So you have basically on each pick and place you can set the starting and the ending position on them basically. So here's my start, and then that's my place. And like if I wanted the gripper to be a little bit, closer together, I mean I could just do that and then update my position. And then everything else will recalculate from there. So there it is again, and then it comes down and opens up. So it's not very much now. Make it a little bigger like that. There's that position and the other one. You can turn the knob to kind of move to all the key points. It's kind of handy. And then you can press the knob to play from that point. Okay, so with that, the pick and place actually doesn't need all the recordings in order to figure out those key spots. It can infer a lot. You could just do a recording when it's open and just do a recording when it's closed if you wanted to. Or you can just do, the simplest one is if you're the least amount you could possibly do would be like to just grab it and then place it in another location, and it will figure everything out. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's create a new one. And when you do that, you got to start with your gripper open if you're going to do like the least amount possible. We're going to do record, and we're going to come grab this one, listen for the beep, put it over here, open our gripper, listen for the beep, and put it back. And basically it's done all the recordings, all the in-between recordings, and figured all those out for that one. There it goes, it picks it up, brings it to the safety, and puts it back down in our spot. Goes back, right? So with that, you can do a handful of pick and place recordings really, really quickly. Yeah. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do for the tic-tac-toe. So I have these little dots I've put for they're just random spots that I just put here for where I wanted the M&Ms to start. So I put them on my little dot. And if you don't lock down your arm, then this is what I recommend to do. Like just put it in a spot um, where you want it to be and just take a pencil and like mark the corners. And then you'll always know exactly where to put it down. That's that's kind of my spot. And then I just drew my tic-tac-toe board. So now I'm going to record. I'm going to record all of these positions. It's all at once in one recording. Okay. So maybe I'll just do like 2 or 3 actually. So start here. I'll come over, grab this one, let it go here. Grab this one, put it here. This one, put it here. All right. So you can see here, I've got my 3 picks, right? Maybe if I look down below, you can see it. So I got my 3 picks and my 3 places, and everything's going back to a single safety. Okay, so now I'll probably need to tune these up to get it more accurate. That one's not bad, actually. It was just about right on my dot. Let's just see how we did. Okay, so right there, I probably want to center this a little bit more. So we'll do a quick adjustment here. So where I am in the recording, if I just turn my knob, I just turned it back, and it moves me right to and gets me ready to do an update right on that position in the recording that I'm on. So I can easily just shuttle to the spot and make some adjustments that we need. So in this one, we want to kind of move our target over a little bit. Um, that's probably better, right? So we'll just update that position. And if we look on our recording, we will see that this arrow is going off to the side now. See that? It's off to the side. So our starting position, our extraction position is in the same spot, but we've changed our drop position. And that may not be what we want if we play that through. And that comes over, and it might work just fine, actually. But what we can do is we can move that position back over. There's some shortcuts down below here. So here's our placement right here. So there's 2 shortcuts here. One will reposition the entry point right above our placement point. So we'll just click that one. And you should see this arrow. There you go. It's now straight up and down. So it's now repositioned it right above. So we'll go ahead and shuttle over to the spot. There we go. Oh, did I not get the right spot? There we go. Okay, now let's play this. So it should come down. There we go, much better. Okay, so I like that. That's better. Oh, I grabbed it barely. We might kind of go through and touch up all of our locations like that. Okay, so when we're done, let's save this. When we're done, we've got a series of pick and place locations, always going back to the same safety. Okay, so we can reuse parts and pieces of this recording. So that's what I did in the tic-tac-toe. I just used there's one portion where I grab items, and I was just kind of grabbing it in order. I had a variable, and I just keep track in Scratch, and I just keep track of what order it was. And so so what you could do is, well, let me just show you. So this is the recording that I did. and you can see I've just got a bunch of, here's all the pickup locations, here's all the placements on the boards, here's all the pickup locations for the brown, right? And what happens is I renamed these. Just click like that. You can rename um, this pick location, and I named it like PA2, meaning um, player A, position number 2, right? So back here, there's like PA1, right? So that's the pickup for position number 1 for player A, right? And over here, I've got for player B, right? Player B1, right? Over there. Okay, so player A and player B, that's what I had. And then my positions that I put down in the middle, these are like B1, right? There's the spot where I put it down. I just named it B1. So that's what I wrote down here, B1. All my positions, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3, all the sort of positions on here. I literally name them that. And so what happens is it always goes from like B1 to safety. And then, so that's the place. And then there's a pickup, like PA5, pickup, player B, number 5, back to safety, okay? So what we want to do in our scratch is just play that small segment, like B1 to safety. So in Scratch, let me turn on Scratch here. Okay, in Scratch we have a new playback feature right here. So this new playback feature um, allows you to pick the recording. Kind of hard with that. Okay, tic tac toe. And then you can say from, and you can type in. Oops, it's gonna play now. Okay, I just need to say from, and you can type that in. So I could say like A1, and then 2, I could say safety. All right. So now when I play this recording back, it's only, so here I go. I'm going to replay this. It's only going to play the dropping down of A1, and then it ends. That's it. Okay. So you can play segments of recordings basically. So the other features that are new in here is down at the bottom is the ability to speak.
Hello.
Right? You type in some text and it'll speak, and the ability to do voice recognition. So like you can listen for listen for some text basically. If you say it, then it'll pick it up. So with those things, I was able to put this is my recording. I was able to put it together and make a tic tac toe. So that's just a few features to play around with. Hope you're able to create something similar.